into the corner. He can't get away from Howe. Prop is back. Anderson steals it. Messier on the boards. A minute 35 left. Anderson in on the boards and Prop bumped him. The puck comes loose and out to the line, but not out. Over it. Kept in. Now it's out. Listen to this roar. 1:20 left to play in the third. Here's Gretzky. Offside is called. We've got 1:19 left.
And Randy Gregg hurt his shoulder on a collision at the Philadelphia blue line, and he is going to the bench in a lot of pain. And they don't need to lose Gregg as well as lose the game. That won't help their chances in Game 7 should they unable be able to tie it up. And Bob, you have to admire this Philadelphia team. How many times have we thought that they're down, out, and dead, and they come back? They have more lives than a normal cat.
It seems, as I said earlier in the broadcast tonight, as if the script was written. First of all, you fall behind. And then you look at your goaltender, and Hextall sizes up the situation, and he says, just give me a moment or two. I'll stop everything they throw at me, but 2 is all I want them to get. And that's all they have. Now the Flyers have come back. They got 1, then another inside it, and here Dano scored at 14:28 of this third, and they're leading for the first time in the game 3-2 with 1:19 left.
Well, Game 7 looks like a real possibility now. 8 o'clock Eastern time from Edmonton Sunday night. Don't miss it. It's going to be a beauty. Now here, coming up with 1:19 to go, watch for Paul Coffey in one of his patented rushes, or coming as the 4th man on a rush, or coming off the point into the slot. I think he's the most dangerous possibility the Oilers have.
I want to remind you that Hockey Night in Canada will be on the air Sunday, coast to coast, with the 7th game, if there is a 7th game. And this goal here by Dano at 14:28 of this third period makes it look as if there might be a 7th game. 1:19 left to play in the third. 3-2, Philadelphia. Big Samuelson having a chat with Mark Howe just inside the line. Now they're in position. Fjord is about 40 feet out of the net. He's ready to go to the bench. Should they win this draw? Messier has been winning draws all night, but not this time. It's cleared. Howe tried to dump it out. Got it down and inside the line. Tocchet going in there. Curry dropped it to the boards. Coffey with 1:05 left. Down to Curry. There goes Fjord out of the net. Hextall stopped it. Couldn't clear it out. Minute left. Center ice. Puck flipped ahead to Tocchet. He has a shot at the net. Dumped it in wide. 50 seconds left. Up near center ice. Samuelson watching Gretzky. Trying to tie him up. McSorley is in there. McSorley off the boards, and it goes into the corner. There's Samuelson on top of Gretzky again. Puck ripped over on this side with 35 seconds left. Howe sees it, and he gets it out. Got to center and then falls. And with 27 seconds left, they get a stoppage with a faceoff coming up in the center ice area. Everybody is uptight now, and why not? 6th game of the Stanley Cup final. Edmonton needing a win tonight to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers, behind Hextall's goaltending, wanted to extend the series to 7, and it looks as if that's what's going to happen. And we'll be there Sunday night in Edmonton. Hockey Night in Canada will bring you that game coast to coast. It starts at 8 Eastern time.
Mike Keenan will not call a timeout because he doesn't want the Edmonton Big Five to get a rest. And you know, when you remove your goalie as a coach to try and tie a game up, it's a little like playing Russian roulette. You know you're taking a chance, but by the time you hear the explosion, some nights it's too late.
All right, 27 seconds left in the third. Dano, the go-ahead goal at 14:28 of this third period. After Prop had tied it at 13:04 on a power play. Face-off near center, and this is a biggie. This face-off. Again, Sutter wins it. Flyers dumping ahead, shot at the empty net. Oh, just missed. seconds left. They're going to have to hurry, these Oilers are. They're going to tie it. Coffey didn't see the pass. There's Hextall. He tried to hit the net, and he has to make a miraculous save on Messier. 4 seconds left, and we're going to Game 7. Stanley Cup. They've defeated the Edmonton Oilers 3-2 with a very gutsy performance and have set the stage for Game 7. It'll be on Hockey Night in Canada, coast to coast on CBC, beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday night.
And Ron Hextall, I think, Bob, was trying to score a goal by shooting it down the ice. Mark Messier jumped up and grabbed the puck, and Hextall is the luckiest man in this rink after being the best player on the ice that he got away with that.
He'll never do it again. You're right. He tried to shoot it down at the empty net just to rub a little salt in the wound. But Messier knocked it down and then had a shot at tying the game. But Hextall, the rookie, came up with a miraculous save.
Well, you hate to taint Hextall's performance because it was fabulous, but he nearly ruined his own party.
3-2 Flyers, and our Stanley Cup playoff coverage continues in a moment.
Philadelphia Flyers force Game 7 with a dramatic 3-2 victory. The Molson Three Stars, number 1, as you might expect, is goaltender Ron Hextall of the Flyers. The second star also to Philadelphia, Brian Propp. And the third star this evening from the Edmonton Oilers, number 4, Kevin Lowe. The final score, 3-2. The Oilers fall in Philadelphia, and so that means a 7th and deciding game Sunday, the final day of May. We'll have it on Hockey Night in Canada. How about Philadelphia? There were articles throughout the papers here in Philadelphia today that said, really, if you're a fan, you should be happy with what you got. They had to play 50 nights every other night, 25 games. They'll now play 26. They hold a tie for the NHL record for road victories in the playoffs with 8. If they're to get the record, they would win the Stanley Cup. To recap, the 3 stars, Hextall and Propp for Philadelphia, Kevin Lowe of the Edmonton Oilers. The final score is 3-2. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs. The scene in Philadelphia is one of jubilation. The fans knew it was their final home game of the season, 17,222. It was the toughest ticket in town, and it was perhaps the toughest victory of the series for the Philadelphia Flyers. Ron Hextall, the goaltender, is star number 1, as he's been throughout the playoffs for Philadelphia, a staple of their success. The winning goal was scored late in the game, but what a goal it was, and we'll show you that in a little bit. But before we do that, why not share in the celebration with the number 1 star and the fellow who made all of it possible, number 27, Ron Hextall. And you wanted to say hi before you said anything. Go ahead.
I'd just like to say I'm a mother and father, my brother and sister, and my brother-in-law.
You're coast to coast in Canada. Explain this amazing story that's been your season of 66 games and now 25 in the playoffs.
Well, it's been a long season for me with a lot of games, but we're in the finals. There's nothing I'd rather be doing than playing hockey, and we're playing great hockey. And I thought we showed a lot of character tonight.
Is it a blur, Ron? Does it just seem to go on, and you have to pinch yourself and say, I'm amazed that I'm playing so well, but I hope it continues?
Well, it's a bit of a blur right now that we won this game. We're down 2-0 again, and we've faced a lot of adversity this year, and we've always responded. So hopefully in Game 7 we will respond. Was there any different pressure in the wake of all the attention that came when you slashed Kent Nielsen in the other game? Well, I really didn't worry about that. It's in the past. It happened. It happened once. It'll probably happen again by somebody. It is something that happens in the game, and I just didn't worry about it. A story I recall reading said that you saw your grandfather's name on the Stanley Cup, and it inspired you. Do you recall the story? And if so, share it. Well, I saw the name. It didn't really inspire me. We're out to win the Stanley Cup. It doesn't matter whose name's on there. I'm proud that my grandfather's name's on there, but hopefully I'll get mine on. Well, you took a step in the right direction tonight. There's no doubt about that. Congratulations on being the number 1 star and a victory in Game 7 in Edmonton. Thanks, Ron. Ron Hextall of the Philadelphia Flyers, the game-winning goaltender, of course, 3-2 the final score. We'll show you now the winning goal in this game, and it came, as I say, in the final minutes of the game. After a power play goal by Brian Propp, J.J. Daniel will pick up the loose puck inside the Edmonton blue line and launch a shot with Scott Mellanby in front.
We don't believe Melody now deflected it, but it's tough on that replay to tell. It might have changed direction. Nonetheless, Grant Fuhr, who was also outstanding for Edmonton, didn't see it. There's the third period scoring summary. Philadelphia's prop on the power play at 13:04, and then at 14:28, J.J. Daigneault, his first of the playoffs, coming off a broken foot. He's back in the lineup for Philadelphia and contributing. The shots on goal, 32-23 in favor of Edmonton, and I guess that's part and parcel the reason Ron Hextall is star number one. Don?
Well, I said at the start, Hextall was the guy that did it the last game. He did it this game. I said they needed something from Messier and Anderson. They got nothing. I have to say a dumb penalty, 2-1 for the Stanley Cup in the third period. And you take a high-sticking penalty to get them back in the game. Looked like they were dying. Dumb penalty as far as I'm concerned. And Philadelphia did it here. Now Edmonton's got to do it back there. That's that simple. That's all. The crowd get behind him.
What would Glenn Sather say to his team? Clearly there was a meeting after the game because their dressing rooms are located just to the left of our studio, and players often mill about just next to the studio. They didn't tonight. They had a closed doors affair. What would it be about?
Well, I'm sure he didn't go in and yell and holler. You don't do that in, going in the seventh game. He said, hey, just exactly what I said. I'm sure he said the same thing. Look, they won their home game. They came back and did it. Now we're going home. We're going to win it in front of our fans. They'd probably want to do it that way anyhow. That's the way you got to look at it. You don't look at it. You don't get down or anything. Get pounding back. I hope they're chartering back, though.
Now, I know you've answered, that's a good point. I know you've answered this in a sense in your last answer, but what does Edmonton do differently in Game 7?
Oh, they don't do anything differently. Let's face it, the guy that killed them was Hextall. They had a lot of shots. They should have been up 4-0 in the first period. And the second period, they played well, too. It's just that they the old story again, started back in, protect the lead. Happens every time. Dumb penalty, away we go.
And Philadelphia Flyers now get a 2-day break, and that might be the best reprieve of all.
No, that doesn't. If I'm betting my money and I'm betting a farm, I'll still bet on Edmonton all the way.
Okay, well, we are going to a seventh game for the first time since 1971 when the Montreal Canadiens met the Chicago Blackhawks. The Philadelphia Flyers will play the Edmonton Oilers. It's the top two teams in the National Hockey League. It's the Stanley Cup final. It takes place May the 31st. That's Sunday from Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. The broadcast will start at 8 o'clock Eastern. We thank you for watching this evening. From all of us at Hockey Night in Canada, good night.